Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So I'm going to make this episode, and it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to highlight a problem, and there's several ways of dealing with it in terms of giving a solution. It's going to require, in terms of a solution, it's going to require us working together. And again, I think a few of you guys are quite afraid of us having a conversation. I've told you initially a lot of the things that we give out are free. So if you come to the strategy session, it's going to be a high packed of value. We're going to give you a game plan for free. There's no obligation to buy. I'm putting that out there because I think this episode is going to be very important, and for you to know that it's going to give you an opportunity to actually come and speak to us. You've got no obligation to buy. We'll give you the game plan. You go and implement the game plan. If you set up another meeting, or if we set up another meeting, we might then ask you if you want to join the Reignited Men. If you don't want to, no big deal, no problem. So with that being said, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and we started talking about marriage for utilities. And what this is when a guy is within a sexless relationship. The sexless relationship isn't the massive problem. The biggest problem with this is that you've got married, a lot of things have shifted within your relationship, and only thing that she sees you now as is a paycheck. She's getting validation from being a mom and having the kids. She's getting validation by the clubs that she's involved in, the friends that she's gone. She's getting validation from everywhere else, but not your relationship. Now, this is not saying that all of you guys within a sexual relationship are in this category. It's easy for you to see yourself as though you're within this category, but I can guarantee you it's only a few people that are within this category. Most of you guys are suffering in the sexless relationship because you lack the skill to retain the fire going. So you've ignited the fire, got married, relationship progressed. If you think of it as a fire, it was reignited, there was a flame, you had the honeymoon period, and then over a period of time it started dying out because you didn't know how to gather the firewood, for lack of a better term. So you couldn't keep the flame going. So that's where most of you guys are. There's a select few that are within this category where you're married for utilities. So she's now staying with you because you have the capability of giving it a nice life and paying the bills. And I'm not laughing at you guys, but I'm just laughing because it's a warped way of looking at things that you think for somebody who is decided getting married, decided to be with somebody, they would rather invest in other relationships, but not the one that she's in right now. So, for example, and this for you guys to actually see if this is you, if she's not capable of speaking to you with respect, if she's not capable of dealing with anything that was to do with the relationship. So anytime we bring that up, especially not the sex, but just dealing with the relationship, because it's one thing to be sexless, but it's another thing to be sexless and not being able to communicate anything to do with the relationship. Because when I speak to most of the guys, they say the relationship is good, we are happy, we do everything else. The only problem is this point. And a lot of you guys, you find yourself in this situation where, yes, you can have a romantic time, yes, you can have a playful time, but the sex isn't quite there. But then with some of the guys that I've spoken to who are married for utilities, she's completely checked out. And you can feel that they're completely checked out. She's not even engaged. Even, in fact, some of them are not even engaged with the children. So they'll put themselves before the children. In terms of spending, they spend more than you guys can earn. So they're quite selfish in terms of how they dress. The clothes that they wear, everything is more self-centered and centered around that person. So even though they might be a good mom, even though they might be a good wife, or to an extent, in terms of from outside looking in, they might seem like it's all about this perception. And to a certain extent, everybody is worried about how they look to people, but with this person, it's more elevated. And I'm saying this because it's taken me a few months to recognize this and really start talking about it. It's the first time I'm speaking about it in a podcast. It's not going to be my last time to speak about it, but I just wanted to highlight this and really talk about it. And like I said, more than happy to talk to you guys and walk you through how you might start changing this. There's a few guys that we're talking to about changing this. It takes time. It's one of those ones that you have to change first. So there's certain behaviors that you have to change first. Once you change those behaviors, then there's certain things that you need to do in order to highlight the problem. So she has to see that there's a problem going on, and it's not the problem. She'll first initially think that you've got the problem, but you need to get her to recognize that she's got a problem too. And once she recognizes that she's got a problem, then she's more receptive for the solution. So again, this is something that you would have to reiterate for several times before you actually get to the real deal. And once you get to that real deal, there's going to be a change or at least a transformation within the relationship. And that's where we're going to be trying to aim for. But again, most of you guys probably might think, oh, she's narcissistic. Maybe she's, egotistic. We can think of all these really bad terms. But at the end of the day, it's just a scared person who needs validation, and she needs validation by doing those things in terms of raising a status. And again, a few of you guys, you might have listened to this and you think, it sounds like my wife, so therefore she's married to me with utilities. That's not what I'm saying. Like I said, to a certain extent, we're all like this. I've done the same. But then this is just at a very, very high level, and you're completely disconnected. Whereas some of you guys, I can tell you that some of you guys, it's just like the skill of keeping the fire burning. And this, again, if you want help with that, go to our Facebook group, Thriving Tribesmen, and then you'll be able to get some links to actually go and get your free strategy session so you can get your custom game plan, so you can actually start changing things around within your relationship. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Hopefully that's been something that is giving you an insight. I don't feel I did a very good job in explaining explaining it. I've been thinking about this for the past day and a half. So I'm going to remake this episode at some point when I've got better at explaining it, but it gives you an idea of what you might be dealing with, and maybe there is a solution for it. So we can, like I said, just come in and we have a conversation and we can walk you through what that looks like. So thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.